how do you help men, especially in men's groups, overcome that shame from in whatever direction it's coming from? I mean,
Yeah.
mostly it's pointed towards us.
I suspect that probably all humans have shame,
Yeah.
because again, as children, any uncomfortable experience, children are narcissistic by nature. I learned that in child development. We believe we are the cause of everything that happens. Now, that's not irrational, but I mean, our rational brain doesn't even start coming online until around 2.
Yeah.
Um, and it doesn't finish in men until about 25. So these are emotional beliefs. And they're typically, well, they're just normal. They're natural child development stages and stages of development. So we're narcissistic. We believe we're the cause of everything, which leads to a grandiosity, which means I must be really bad
Mhm.
if I cause these bad things to happen. I'm hungry and I don't get fed. I must have caused that. I messed up my diaper. I don't get changed. We're not thinking again. It's just emotional. So grandiosity, I must be really bad, but also a grandiosity that if I'm so bad, I can be good. I can fix this. I can make it better. Magically I can make everything work okay. Nice guys do have that magical belief system. If they do everything right, life will be smooth and problem free. It's one of our major covert contracts with life in the world.
Yeah.
So well, we've got this dynamic of the shame. So I think pretty much probably everybody internalizes inaccurately this sense of I'm not lovable, I'm not good, I'm bad. What we all do at a very early age is we try to do things to comfort those feelings, to manage the discomfort. Some babies eat, some babies sleep, some babies cry. I sucked my thumb till I was in kindergarten, so maybe I was managing some uncomfortable feelings. Um, so we're all doing that at a very primitive level, kind of almost lizard brain level. How can I feel better in the midst of feeling bad? The other thing every child tries to do is try to prevent those uncomfortable feelings from happening again in the future. Again, using a very primitive mind. That becomes what we call our neuroses. Neuroses are everybody's neurotic. Everybody has neuroses that seem to make sense at that very early hypnotic state of life. And because we internalize them at such a deep emotional level, we carry them into adolescence, try out all these different identities. They get solidified as we come into adulthood. And those are our neuroses. And they all developed when we were just helpless, dependent little babies, thinking, well, if I smile all the time, that'll be good. Or if I stay angry all the time, that will keep people from hurting me. Or if, whatever we internalize. Nice guy syndrome is just one form of neuroses. It's just one form of trying to manage uncomfortable feelings and trying to prevent them from happening again in the future. So everybody walking the planet probably has, some form of neurotic adaptation of trying to deal with an uncomfortable world. So for nice guys, the most effective way I know to deal with the shame, and I talk about this, pretty fundamentally in No More Mr. Nice Guys, go find safe people.
Yeah.
That can be a life coach, it can be a therapist, it can be a 12-step group, it can be a men's group, it can be a church group, it can be your minister. Probably it's not your mother, probably it's not your girlfriend, not to vilify them, but they are going to have a certain emotional investment in you being a certain way and seeing you in a certain way, and you not being different from who you are. And you might know that and not be fully revealing. We've got to find places, and this can be challenging, but I don't think it's impossible, where we can become, as we talked before about being vulnerable, be
Yeah.
completely vulnerable. I got lucky. I landed in a 12-step group. My first, when my ex-wife said, you need to go get help. You're not such a nice guy. Oh, okay. He said, you're a sex addict. So I went to a 12-step group for sex addicts. Quickly found out I wasn't having enough sex to be a sex addict, but I loved going to that group. It was all men, pretty hardcore. I mean, there's some guys in there who's some pretty messed up stuff. And for the first time in my life, 'cause I grew up, fundamental Christian, hide everything, critical father, hide everything, angry feminism, hide everything, put on the good face and try to look good. And so for the first time in my life, I just started revealing things that I'd never shared. So maybe just thoughts, feelings, impulses, past behaviors or actions. It didn't matter. If my brain said, don't share this, I shared it. right? And I'd go to these 12-step meetings. I think they met like at 6 a.m. It's really early. I'd get excited about going to this 12-step group to talk about my shit that I never shared with anybody. And it just really felt good to have that release that I didn't have to pack this stuff around and I could just be me. So I think to release this, we have to have safe people. I mean, the worst thing that ever happened is I'd share something and go, "Thanks for sharing, Robert." That's the worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Um, and then that let me start taking risk with other people, including partners and friends, and being more truthful and transparent and honest and authentic. And I found out, wow, people actually don't have the big negative reactions I thought they might have by me being real and honest. And so it was just liberating and it let me just be me. Now that I've released all this shame that I was used to, protecting with the kind of, if shame is one, the reaction, trying to be a nice guy is the other action. Well, I've got to be good. I got to be especially good. I got to look good all the time. I got to put on a good front. Once I got rid of the shame, it's like, I can be me, warts and all. I can say dumb stuff. I can not know stuff, and that's okay. I can have impulses that are kind of dark, and that's all right. I can just reveal them rather than act on them. And so it was so liberating. And I just came to realize that not only does sharing your shame, basically anything you don't want to tell people,
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
tell somebody.
Yeah.
And it also gives you more accurate information about yourself because so many times, especially in men's groups, a guy will share something that he's done or thought about himself, and he's just riddled with toxic shame about it. I'm so bad. I'm so terrible. And the guys will look at him and go, "That's it? Everybody does that. That's normal. You're a normal guy." You go, "Oh, really? I'm not the world's worst person because I have a girlfriend who I love, but I also objectify that woman over there. Now you're pretty normal." That's kind of a guy thing. In fact, your girlfriend probably looks at guys and she goes, "Oh, he's hot too." So you get more accurate information about yourself that lets you just shed the neuroses we've been packing around since we were 2 weeks old, 2 months old, 2 years old. So that safe person, safe people, safe groups, it's just critical.
It is the most important thing. I think finding a place where you could be safe, vulnerable, and honest about yourself is probably the most transformative thing that we can do in our lives because that is going to allow us to be our authentic selves in the world. It's funny because
Yeah.
we want to be acknowledged, we want to be seen, we want to be appreciated, but most of the time we want to be seen, but we don't want to be seen as who we really are, but we want to be seen as the person that we want other people to see us as. And as soon as you allow yourself to be vulnerable in those spaces, you allow yourselves to be vulnerable in other spaces as well and actually be that authentic self that you are.
I'm even smiling because, yeah, we want to be seen. But sometimes people seeing us, and complimenting us or saying, like, "Oh, your book changed my life," or, we don't want to hear that either.
Yeah.
Sometimes even the good stuff. No, 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 no. Don't make me bear the burden of hearing good stuff about myself either. So it is a practice to be vulnerable, to let this stuff out that we've been judging ourselves about, to find out we're normal, we're not bad. If we make mistakes, we can learn from them. We can make amends. We can adjust our behavior, and people can love us warts and all. In fact, probably love us more
Yeah.
warts and all than just being all shiny and smooth. And I don't ever do anything wrong, or I'm not going to let you know about it. Yeah, like I say, no more Mr. Nice Guy. We connect with people's rough edges, and our rough edges is all that stuff inside we try not to let anybody see. Maybe it's okay to let them see it.